was going to say that it promises to be a hot afternoon, but I think we're already there. Nobody knows that better than our Melanie Collins down on the sidelines. Melanie.
That's right, Greg. Well, Devontae Parker was held out weeks 1 and 2 with a broken middle finger on his right hand. He is active today. He had that surgically repaired back in August. He'll be wearing a small carbon fiber protective shield on his right hand today with tape over it. Adam Gase said he had a great week of practice, made some really nice catches, but the key today will be how will they work him back into this offense with these other 4 receivers who have gotten off to a fast start. I'm told today, guys, he is full go with no limitations. Greg.
All right, Melanie, thank you. Miami Dolphins won the toss, and they have deferred, which means they will kick it away to the Oakland Raiders. One thing, if you're the Raider, you don't want to dwell on is that you're wearing black today on this warm day that feels like 100 down on the field.
Yeah, well, this is one of those teams that wears white at home and puts the target. When I was with the Steelers, we always wore black down here, too.
Dwayne Harris is deep. Jason Sanders is set to kick it away, and we are underway in South Florida. This will not be returned, and the touchback bring it out to the 20-yard line, 25-yard line, and that means Derek Carr in the offense. And as we mentioned in the open, he just had a terrific day throwing the ball a week ago in Denver.
He did an excellent job. When you consider what Denver coming into that game, what they were doing defensively in their pass defense with their pass pressure, thought it was a great game plan they had, get the ball out quickly, and then as that game developed and they neutralized the pass rush a little bit, then they started pushing it down the field, and that's where they had success.
Yeah, I would look for a lot of press coverage today, and not that soft coverage that Denver played.
Marshawn Lynch in the backfield to get things started. Pulled it down, running out of time, and the pass is incomplete, just as he is hit. Robert Quinn, who John Gruden told us yesterday, he just thinks he's a huge addition to this defense. He got to the quarterback.
Well, Robert Quinn is lined up on the rookie Colton Miller. Miller tries to chop him because it's supposed to be a quick throw. As a quarterback, if you know it's a quick throw and you got to get it out, those linemen are chopping, you can't hang on to it that long because Quinn was able to get up off the ground and put that hand down and make a big hit.
2nd and 10.
Done! Blue Whitey! Done!
Quick pop over the middle. That is complete, and Jordy Nelson off to the races. 30, 20, 10, and out of bounds.
Well, the
Jerome Baker tracked him down.
Raiders do a great job of putting a big package together, get a little shift in motion, and pop Jordy Nelson down the middle. And talking to the coaches, they felt that the middle of the field was where they want to attack today.
That's where the Dolphins have been susceptible, especially against the Jets, was the middle of the field, attacking that middle zone. We mentioned at the top that Rashad Jones is not going to play today. They have a couple of young linebackers in the middle as well, so that's why look for the Raiders to try and attack. We thought it'd be more with Jared Cook, but you get the ball in the hands of Jordy Nelson, he's going to take off.
61-yard pickup. Carr for Lynch. And Lynch to about the 12. Cameron Wake with the stop down there. Jordy Nelson, 10 years a Green Bay Packer in his first season in Oakland.
Yeah, talking to John Gruden yesterday, they moved Jordy to the slot today. Now, he was lined up as a wide receiver in a stack formation, and they'll stack a lot today to try to keep that press coverage off.
You see the Raiders have scored on their opening drive, each of their first 2 games, threatening to do so here. On 2nd and 8. Carr throwing, end zone, wide open, touchdown to Jordy Nelson. His first as an Oakland Raider.
Well, there's that matchup in the middle of the field again, and the Dolphins are all looking at each other like, who had him? And Jordy just slides right through the slot up in the middle of the field over the top for the touchdown.
Jordy Nelson's going to be lined up at the point here. He's going to come in and he dips. He watch. Kiko Alonso's right here. Safety over the top. He goes back. He sits. Jordy Nelson gives a little dip like he's going underneath and goes right over the top to the open window, and Carr finds him perfectly.
Derek did a great job of staring the linebacker down right there.
The extra point try by Mike Nugent is good. And not to make light of it, but that sure looked easy for the Oakland Raiders. Barely underway. They lead 7-0. Well, the scoring drive was really quick and lethal for the Oakland Raiders. Jordy Nelson had just 53 yards receiving over the first 2 games. He had 73 of those 75 yards on a couple of catches.
Very effective attacking the middle of the field, taking advantage of the Dolphins defense down the middle.
This is Jakeem Grant. Grant, a couple of yards deep in the end zone. To the 25 and to about the 28-yard line. Well, Coach, we asked you about your game plan. So far, so good.
Yeah, we get off to a fast start. You know, the Raiders have scored on the first possession. John Gruden does a great job of scripting those first 15 plays. Now for them, they got to finish the game. They've got to win the fourth quarter today if they're going to win this game. Miami spread the wealth. They've got so many receivers and backs who can run. They've got so much speed. Spread it around. And for the defense, just shut them down.
Frank Gore starts in the backfield alongside Tannehill. And Tannehill throws. This is Kenyon Drake. And out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. Ryan Tannehill, mentioned at the very beginning, having himself a good start to this season. And in fact, over the last 10 games, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, 9-1 in those 10 games. And if you look at just this season, nearly 73% completion and 4 touchdowns against only 2 interceptions. As you see the Dolphins, they talked to us about this, going to try and go some up-tempo, try and wear the Raiders down. They know the Raiders have had problems in the fourth quarter, so try and get them tired throughout the course of the game, especially in the black jerseys on a sunny day like today.
He gives to Drake, and Drake crossed the line of scrimmage to about the 31.5-yard line, brought down by Gary and Conley up from his cornerback spot.
And that's the thing. If you want to go tempo, you got to make first downs. You know, and Ryan Tannehill, not a lot of balls go downfield past 10 yards with this offense. There's a lot of bubble screens, a lot of dinks and dunks, and they want to spread you and use that speed.
As Melanie pointed out, Devontae Parker back in the lineup today. Tannehill looking left, throwing down the sideline. It is tipped away, incomplete. Gary and Conley putting a hand up and knocking it down. Intended receiver was Kenny Stills.
Well, Tannehill recognizes it's going to be man-to-man pressure. Kenny Stills is his deep threat. We talked about the fact that he's averaging over 20 yards per reception, so one-on-one to the outside. Tannehill stares him down a little bit if he gets that out in front, but Conley nearly coming up with the interception.
Dwayne Harris back for the punt inside his own 30-yard line. Matt Hawk, the second-year kicker out of Arizona State. Booms this one out of there. Conley all the way back and let it bounce at the 10-yard line. And they're going to try to return it back at the 10. And he's going to get buried inside as there are penalty flags down. The veteran, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Let's check the flag. What a kick by Hawk.
Well, the only thing I can think of is Rodgers-Cromartie must have thought the ball got touched, because I don't understand why he went running after it to try to make something happen.
Illegal block in the back. Return team number 17. That penalty will be half the distance to the goal. First down Oakland. Timeout.
Goes from bad to worse on that exchange for the Raiders. They're going to start deep in their own territory when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. Verizon, the best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network. And by Ford, going further so you can.
Warm and sunny Miami Beach. Enough said. Crowd is into it. Carr from his own 4. Quick pass to the near side. That is complete. Martavis Bryant and the ex-Steeler across the 10 and out at about the 13-yard line. Maybe a yard or so shy of a first down. And we have another penalty marker. Sean Hockley is our referee today.
You can see the way the Raiders lined up offensively, and then that reaction by the defense of the Dolphins stacked everybody inside, and with Bryant and off coverage, an easy throw.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 77. half the distance to the goal. Replay, first down.
So that penalty is on the rookie left tackle, Colton Miller.
Well, Miller's the one that comes running out to try and make the block for Bryant. Gets called for a shove in the back. You talk about first down offense and defense. Here we go, Coach.
Yes, indeed. That was a big penalty right there because they were out, had 9 yards on first down.
Oakland again this week, fourth most penalty yards in the NFL. Lynch breaking through. 5, out to the 10, to the 11 before he is knocked out of bounds. Fitzpatrick in on the tackle. So the Oakland Raiders, you see their offensive lineup down below. Everybody, despite the mistake that he's made so far today, Colton Miller, everybody's raving about him.
Yeah, he's an outstanding offensive tackle, but Marshawn Lynch on that last one, Dolphins talked to us about you have to gang tackle him and wrap him up. He just keeps his balance and fights through.
And they're going to be about a yard short of a first down as you take a look at the Miami defense.
Again, the Raiders doing a good job of getting themselves in manageable third down here. Great job on that after the penalty, getting the yards out there.
The run on first down, that was the difference. They had him stop for about a 1 yard gain. He bounced it outside and makes this third and manageable.
3rd and 2. And again, Lynch lined up behind Derek Carr.
Blue lady. What's up?
Going to look to the right. Amari Cooper on the receiving end for a first down across the 20, out of bounds at about the 22. Update time in New York. Let's get you there. JB and Phil Simms.
So much for dusting off cobwebs.
Yeah, how about it? Carson Wentz comes out, throws a 13-yard touchdown to Dallas Goedert, 5 of 7 for 55 yards. He comes out of the box smoking just like Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, Bruce Arians, and Melanie Collins.
Oh, you know how to fire up Greg Gumbel.
Greg's always ready to go.
Hey, listen, we all want to say congratulations to Grandpa Cower, by the way. A grandpa for the 5th time, as I understand it. Up the middle and across the 25 is Doug Martin.
Again, so far so good for the Raiders on offense on first down. They're running the football effectively right now against that. What is the best defense right now against the run?
So on 2nd and 6 now. Martin still in at running back as Carr works from the shotgun. Throwing it up. Got his man, Jordy Nelson again. Nelson, 15, 10, and tackled inside the 10 at about the 7 or 8 yard line by Fitzpatrick. Okay, you've seen a couple of these plays. You got to ask, is Minkah Fitzpatrick lost out there?
There's no mystery here. Jordy Nelson is just going right up the numbers, and with the outside release, all of a sudden you get the deep help peels that way, and it's just a foot race up. There's no safety help over the top. This is a simple read for Derek Carr. You come back, you see a safety single high, shaded towards the right side of the field. You know you have a free release down the numbers. That's just easy pitch and catch.
We're good. We're good.
Jordy Nelson with 3 catches for 139 yards already today. Lynch inside the 10, brought down at the 9.
Yeah, on that long play, Minkah Fitzpatrick sat in the middle of the field and just was flat-footed. Derek Carr just stared him down and got Jordy wide open. Good job here by the defensive line of getting penetration to stop that first run. The Raiders need to knock this in. They've been settling for too many field goals in these situations.
Once again, Rashad Jones, the Pro Bowl safety, not playing today. He's got a bad shoulder. He has 2 interceptions on the young season so far. Fitzpatrick starting in his place, 2nd and goal. And Derek Carr doesn't like something that he sees and calls a timeout. 7:47 to play And this Oakland Raider offense impressive so far.
They have been very impressive, and we keep touching on the fact with Rashad Jones and Minka Fitzpatrick. Listen, Minka Fitzpatrick's a great player. He's going to be a great player. First-round pick out of Alabama, very versatile. You talk to Adam Gase, the head coach. You talk to Matt Burke, the defensive coordinator. They love what they can do with him. He can cover in the slot like a corner or a nickelback. He can play deep at safety. He's not afraid to come into the box and make tackles in the run game. The problem is it's still only the third game of his rookie year, so there's going to be mistakes, and the Raiders have been able to take advantage with some of their movements, personnel groups, and matchups to take advantage in the middle of the field. And I'll tell you what, Jordy Nelson's glad.
Yes, indeed. It looks like John Gruden does a great job of matching people up week to week. Jared Cook the first week, Amari Cooper. Looks like it's Jordy's day today.
It is so far. 2nd and goal. Carr, all kinds of time. Now throwing it away over everybody and out of the end zone. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, the clock went off. He clutched it twice. He did have a short guy. I would have taken the 4 or 5 yard gain right there. Just dumped it down. But
quarterbacks are greedy, coach.
Oh, I know. He wanted that touchdown.
You wanted it.
You still got another down here. Get it down inside the 5. It's
right.
a whole
No,
lot
I
easier.
know. Yeah. I tell you, you did a great job. Fitzpatrick did a good job that time, taking the corner away from Cooper, and with the help in the middle of the field, McMillan, the linebacker, dropped back. He was the one that had the middle of the field. When you're backed up inside your 10, that linebacker is responsible for a lot of that.
On 3rd and goal, Jalen Richard in the backfield. Shovel pass. This is Cook, and Cook toward the goal line. Did he get there? No. They're going to mark him down just shy of the end zone.
I think John's going for it.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt.
Watch the shuffle pass right underneath. Gets it to Cook.
You only need one block on the shovel pass. With that, the defensive end rushes upfield. All you got to do is get that middle linebacker blocked with the pulling guard, and they did a great job of executing.
Well, they know the aggressiveness of Quinn, going to get upfield, get it right underneath that. Here we go on 4th down inside the 1.
Marshawn Lynch in the backfield, along with Keith Smith. Short man, Keith Smith, and he didn't make it.
Late flag comes in. Carr's pretty animated with the officials.
Seems pretty certain about something, but the officials are going to talk about it.
Well, this is going to be big one way or another. If it's on the Dolphins, the Raiders will have 1st and goal. If it's on the Raiders, all of a sudden, instead of trying to take your first snap from inside your 1 yard line, now you're going to get a penalty and get separation from your own goal line. So, big flag after this play was done. Keith Smith, his first rush attempt on the season. I know the Raiders fans are out there saying, Marshawn, you got Marshawn Lynch back there dotting that I. You try quick hitting him with that fullback dive. Good penetration by the Dolphins' interior defensive line.
Yeah, great penetration and just stuffed him right at the point.
The runner was short of the goal line. It's a 1st down for Miami. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, Miami number 50, unsportsmanlike conduct, Oakland number 76. Number 76 foul is the first of that type for potential disqualification. It's Miami's ball, 1st down.
So the first thing is that the Raiders missed the opportunity to pile on, and it's still a 7-0 game.
All right, right here we have offsetting penalties. Andre Branch sticks his fan right in the face of Feliciano, grabs his face mask. Feliciano gets a retaliation penalty. Obviously, he's going to retaliate when the guy's got him by the face mask. He gets a penalty that could be an ejection. Branch does not. He just gets a personal foul.
So they're offsetting. The ball stays at the 1 yard line, and out of the end zone, here comes Frank Gore.
Two teams with backed up football and two of the best backs in the history of the game coming off the goal line, Marshawn Lynch and Frank Gore.
Well, what gets lost in that fight is the fact that the Raiders took the ball 90-plus yards all the way down the field to get in that position on 4th and 1. They try a sneak attack up the middle and don't get it in. What a big defensive stop for the Dolphins.
2nd and 7.
Whitey! What are you hot? Hey, up! Omaha! Cut!
And all kinds of movement on the front line. Tannehill points at the Raider defense. The Raider defense points at the right side of the line.
That is quarterbacking 101. If you're inside your own 5.
Offense number 7.
Yeah, that's the Cardinal rule, backed up football.
Yeah.
Hard count inside the 5. Defense, you should be telling each other hard count. And offense, you're really dumb when you jump off sides and you know it's coming. I mean, you practice that every week.
Well, they called that on Juwan James, the Dolphins tackle, and they tried a double hard count. You see how Tannehill called the hard count, and then he acted like he was going to change the cadence and then or change the play, and then called the hard count again. That one goes against the Dolphins.
And timeout called by the Dolphins as they don't look quite together just yet. We'll take a timeout here. Back in 30 seconds after this from Progressive Insurance. We're back with 5:53 to play here in the first quarter. And a 2nd and 8 for Miami. Gore again. Gore wrapped up with not much of anything, maybe a yard. Update time once again. Let's get you to New York. And again, JB and Phil.
A reverse that puts you ahead.
Oh, Emmanuel Sanders is hot so far this year. He's back full speed. And there's Andy Janovich out front, the fullback, making it happen. 35-yard touchdown run. Denver Broncos up in the game. Back to Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, Bruce Arians, and Melanie Collins.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, JB. 3rd and 9. Miami just 6 total yards in this first quarter so far. Tannehill running out of time. On the move. Going to keep it. Looking for the first down on the ground, and he may have gotten there. He did. First down at the 11.
That's a huge play, and he does a great job of scrambling every week. But the Raiders had great defense. That's why you go for it on 4th down. You want your defense to hold them. You know you're going to get the ball to 50, and they let the quarterback out, and he gets a first down.
Tannehill coming out with his eyes looking to the right, and the crease opens up to his left. If there's any question about the health of his knee, last week 44 yards rushing, Gilchrist is the one that gets him out of bounds. I thought he had the angle on it. That just tells you how healthy that knee is, the fact he was able to burst and get that first down.
On first down at the 11. Quick slant. That's complete. Kenny Stills with his, Danny Amendola with the reception. And we have a penalty marker. Going to be against the Raiders.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 22. That penalty's declined. The play results in a first down.
Cornerback Rashawn Melvin guilty of the penalty. That's a 14-yard pickup and another first down. You know, getting back to the way Ryan Tannehill's running the football, apparently not everybody on the team is a big fan of Ryan taking off and running all the time.
Yeah, Adam, they would like to get him back and get him down on the ground and keep him in that pocket more often. Slide.
Tannehill throwing near side of the field. That is complete, and that is Kenny Stills. Ryan Tannehill made some big plays on the ground last week, rushing for 44 yards on 8 carries, 3 of them for a first down. And those 44 rushing yards are the most since 2014.
Let's go!
They're back at it. The give is to Drake, and Drake is going to lose yardage on this one. Corralled by Markel Lee, the linebacker out of Wake Forest.
Well, Markel Lee reading the blocks up front and just shooting the gap and able to get into the backfield, and good tackle bringing him down for loss.
So now it's 3rd and 8, and Tannehill needs the 35-yard line for a first down.
Again, the Raiders need to get off the field on 3rd down, showing that double-A gap pressure.
Tannehill under pressure, throws, nice grab at the 30 by Devontae Parker. He had to reach back for it, but he'll be about 4 or 5 yards short of a first down. Leon Hall, the veteran defensive back out of Michigan, making the stop.
Yeah, Arden Key did a great job. They need him to show up. He's getting better and better each week. He's the speed guy off the edge, and he gets home getting Tannehill to throw the ball underneath. Great tackle. They did their job, though. They got it on the 1. They got it out to the 30, punting downfield. That's really a win on the offensive part.
That was a great call on the double A gap pressure, because that's where the pressure came on Tannehill. He had to get rid of the football, and good job by the Raiders coming up and making the tackle.
Dwayne Harris is deep for the kick. High and short this time. Very short. And it takes a Raider bounce and rolls out of bounds. This will be marked at about the 42-yard line. This will be great field position for Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders, who lead it by a score of 7-0.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by NFL Sunday Ticket, only on DirecTV. And by Pizza Hut, official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
Yesterday, the 2018 St. Jude Walk Run to End Childhood Cancer took place in Miami. Our Melanie Collins, a presenter for the event, ran in support of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Way to go, Mel. 2:15 to play in the first. Carr rolling. Protection and going deep. Intercepted inside the 5-yard line. Picked off by Xavier Howard. To the 40 and down at about the 43-yard line. Well, first, Derek Carr threw that into triple coverage.
Yeah, when he's scrambling around and he's trying to find something up the field, he realizes he's got Amari Cooper going deep. There are 3 defenders back there. See, Cooper is going to be coming from that side of the field, from the right side of the field. Carr comes out on the bootleg, has to pull up and come back. Cooper just gives up on it. He's like, there's no way this ball's coming. I got 3 guys back here.
Yeah, and Derek sees Derek sees a yard behind everybody.
Right.
He puts a hose and he throws it out there, and he just quit on him.
The Dolphins' 3rd takeaway of the season. They came into this week 3, or 7th takeaway this season. They came into this week 3rd in the NFL in that category, and now the Dolphins. Quick pass outside. And Albert Wilson with the catch and out of bounds. And we get a penalty marker again.
Yeah, I'd have to consider that a giveaway rather than a takeaway. I mean, that was just, guy just quit on the play.
Holding. Offense number 19. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
So Jakeem Grant guilty of the hold on that one, and it'll be first and longer.
This is one of the things, Trent, when I was coaching, we studied the officials every week. So far, there have been 2 quick screens, penalties on both. And you got to know the officials on how they're going to call it out there in the perimeter when you're running these type of plays.
On 1st and 20, they'll keep it on the ground with Drake, and he will get stacked up.
I don't know. I've never been a fan of 1st and 20. Handing it off unless I knew I had something special.
A reminder, tomorrow on CBS, one name says it all. Magnum PI. Don't miss the series premiere tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, only CBS. So did you ever tell the officials that you scouted them? And
oh, yeah. Yeah, they knew.
I bet they loved that.
Oh, yeah. You'd ask him in the pregame, you going to call this again today?
2nd and 18. Quick pass to the near side. That is complete and immediately wrestled to the ground is number 86, Mike Gesicki, the tight end, and Marcus Gilchrist with the tackle. And we are in the final 40 seconds of the first quarter, 3rd and 16.
Well, Coach, you didn't like the running play on 1st and 20. The fans just let us know they didn't like the flat play, the flat 1-yard throw on 2nd and 20. So,
well, fans never like anything that doesn't work, right?
Exactly.
3rd and 16. Drake in the backfield once again. Tannehill, short pop over the middle, and Drake had it and dropped it.
Paul Guenther's got to be happy with the way his defense is playing right now. They came into this game giving up 154 yards a game on the ground rushing, and so far in this game, the Dolphins have only 13 yards rushing, not able to get anything going, so you can't get the running game going, that you can't get the play action pass going, which pushes it down the field. Instead, you got to do quick throws because you have no ability to play action pass. You're not going to bite on a play action pass if you can't. Right. The team can't run. So good job so far by Guenther's crew on defense.
Yeah, and the outside guys are doing a great job on these perimeter screens.
28-yard punt last time for Hawk. This one, the Raiders will let it roll, and it goes into the end zone, and there's a penalty marker.
Why aren't the Dolphins jumping on it? That may have hit the legs of.
Jalen Richard gave Walt Aikens a shove.
Right in the back, right in front of the official.
Right in front of the world. And you know, if it was that evident, why the big conversation?
Probably determining whether it's a touchback or spot foul, where they want to place this ball.
Well, everybody gets together and talks, and finally we go dilly-dilly. Now here we go.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, return team number 30. The result of the play was a touchback. The penalty will be administered half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down, Oakland.
So there's not much doubt about the call.
I'm trying to see if Richard touches the ball, though. If it ends up hitting his leg.
It looked like it hit his left foot.
I was like, if it hits it. No, nobody reacted to the ball whatsoever. So.
Doug Martin and Keith Smith on this last play of the first quarter. It'll be Martin. And Martin bursts through across the 10 to the 11-yard line where T.J. McDonald makes the stop, and that's how the first quarter ends. 7-0 Raiders. Could have been more. We're back to Hard Rock Stadium. Right after this, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Take a look at numbers from the first quarter with an advantage in yardage from 181 to 39. You'd think Oakland is all over Miami, and they have been, feels like, but not on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, one is possession time and one is production time. The Raiders have production time.
2nd and 1. This is Martin. And that is what Coach John Gruden emphasized to us, what he hates most, wasted plays. Got nothing.
Yeah, 2nd and 1, and you run wide to the right, and you lose yards. William Hayes makes a good play, and you lose 3. I'm more of a straight downhill guy. If I'm going to run the football on 2nd and 1, I want it going downhill.
Well, last time on 3rd down, here we're going to have about 3rd and 3 or 4, and last time Amari Cooper went in motion to give an indication to Derek Carr if it was man-to-man coverage or zone coverage. So look for them to give a subtle movement just to give some kind of indicator here and then take advantage of it if it's a man route.
No one in motion. Buried at the 2-yard line. Carr going down. William Hayes with the stack. And William Hayes is hurt. It was hard to tell for a while where that was writhing in pain or a celebration.
Yeah, I hope he didn't get hurt celebrating. But it was a great pass rush. Good move to the inside.
Hard to tell where he got hurt.
Yeah, it looked like his right knee when he came to the ground.
We'll take a look. We'll be back. Well, William Hayes walking off the field, albeit gingerly, and to the locker room. Meanwhile, the Raiders kicking out of their own end zone, and Jakeem Grant is deep. And the Dolphins are going to get great field position out of this. This one bounces out of bounds, well short of midfield. In fact, it might even be around the 40-yard line. Let's go back to the sack by William Hayes of Derek Carr.
Yeah, this is interesting because he takes Derek Carr to the ground, and it appears that he puts his full body weight on purpose on top of Derek Carr, which has been a penalty the first 2 weeks. It's amazing that, you know, when we have new rules, they get tweaked a little bit each week. To me, that was an obvious full body weight on top of a quarterback.
Well, it doesn't tell you when his arms are spread, Coach. That doesn't tell you that he's trying to avoid it.
No, he's a Superman landing right on top of him.
Okay.
That's a technique. You put your arms out so your full body weight does land on top of the quarterback.
Oh. That's Frank Gore. And Frank Gore got nothing. These are Miami's first 3 possessions, all resulting in punts, and 2 of them 3-and-outs.
Well, their defense set them up perfectly. They held them back there inside the 5 and got the short punt, so they've got to get points. When you get this ball inside the 50, it's got to be mandatory points. Obviously, you'd love to have a touchdown.
Gore on 2nd and 10 is in the backfield again. Gore. And again, nothing there for one of the NFL's all-time leading rushers. This guy has done it consistently well.
For a long time.
That's good company to be in right there. That's it's pretty impressive what he's been able to do, and I just love talking to him because it's just his passion for the game.
He's like
how much longer are you going to play? He's like, I just love football. I'm going to keep going as long as I can.
Here's a 3rd and 9 now as the Dolphins try to take advantage of great field position after the punt. Tannehill under pressure, got rid of it, penalty markers down, and that's incomplete. Let's check the flag.
There were fouls by both teams on the play. Holding, offense number 86. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 93. Those fouls offset, replay, 3rd down. 73. The roughing the passer was 73.
So it is Maurice Hurst, number 73, guilty on the Raider side of the ball.
Watch Juwan James at the top of your screen here, number 70. Watch the way he gets bent backwards, and then here's the roughing the passer. Watch how he lands right on top of him. If you're a Raiders fan, you're upset because you're like, that wasn't nearly as bad as the hit that Derek Carr just took. So
yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's just too inconsistent.
That's where you had those friendly discussions with the officials, Coach, right?
I get real red face
Can I talk to you over here on the sideline real quick? Because I got a little comparison I want to do with you.
Coach Gruden was really upset over there by that one.
So we'll repeat the 3rd and 9 for the Miami offense from just inside the 35. Tannehill holding on, now going deep, has a man in the end zone, caught! Kenny Stills, touchdown!
Kenny Stills is the big, deep threat that the Dolphins like to take advantage of because of his speed. Coming into this game, over 20 yards per reception. This time just on a deep corner route. Able to split the corner and the safety. Inside leverage with safety help over the top in the middle. Guess what? I'm just faster than you, and I'm going to go. Perfectly thrown ball by Tannehill.
Great throw.
Ball secured, 1 foot down, 2 feet. Even dragged that one, the back foot, so technically 3 inbounds.
Stills with his 3rd touchdown catch of the season.
Lack of the Raiders pass rush really showed up there. He double clutched, he pumped it 3 times and let Kenny Stills get all the way down the field behind Gilchrist.
Well, normally something like that, you have a play action pass because you know it's going to take time. He just stood back there and patted it a couple times, and big strike down the field.
Jason Sanders' extra point is perfect. 12-11 to play in the first half, and the Dolphins come back for a 7-7 tie.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. McDonald's. And by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925.
Seven game, 12-11 to play in the first half.
Well, and if you're the Raiders, you just can't get frustrated because it's a 7-7 game. You're dominating things, 172 yards to 74 yards. You can't get discouraged. You just have to stick with what you're doing. but when you get the opportunity to get points, you have to.
Yes, indeed. I mean,
Hey, this was pretty cool. Dolphins players and staff went on a tour of Miami Tuesday to experience the cultural diversity of South Florida, the Lyric Theater in Overtown, the Cuban restaurant Cafe Versailles, and other sites in Miami visited throughout the day. This was the Dolphins' first Football Unites cultural tour, and response from the players was pretty terrific. First down, Raiders, their own 25-yard line. Carr throwing over the middle. That's complete to Jordy Nelson, who's already had a heck of a day. That one is good for 12 yards.
yeah, good job, Derek Carr, stepping in there and hitting that bang post on the backside. Jordy Nelson he's the target today. They've got some mismatches that they like with him today, and Derek's feeding him.
4 catches, 151 yards.
And good recognition by Carr as a 3-by-1 formation. Jordy Nelson was by himself on the backside. Safeties rotated for the Dolphins. Drop safety, go away from the drop safety, hit the slant.
Carr throwing to this side and in and out of the hands of Nelson. So it's 2nd and 10. Like I said, great day so far.
Well, 4 catches for 151 yards. It started off early. Second play of the game. He finds a crease in the middle, takes it down inside the 10, and of course the touchdown. Then they come back on the next series and nobody even covers him down the inside edge of the numbers.
This is an end around, and this is Martavis Bryant looking for blocking, getting some, and across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Brought down by Kiko Alonso.
The play looked like a disaster when it started, and it's like Martavis' speed, he just made something out of nothing.
You can give Bryant the credit on it. Watch, there's 2 guys here. I don't know. He cuts back. Usually when you make that cutback, there's a penalty coming. Somebody's holding or pushing in the back. So give Bryant the credit for making this a manageable 3rd down.
Jalen Richard in the backfield for the Raiders. And they need the 47-yard line for a first down. Carr goes down. Cameron Wake. And we get flags and a disagreement at about the 37-yard line.
Osimile had his helmet ripped off. He's walking around the field with no helmet on. Cameron Wake coming off the edge, though, with the sack.
Towards the end of the day, we may end up saying this got ugly early.
Well, they actually had T.J. Clemmings in at right tackle for Donald Penn. Not sure what's going on there, if they had just planned on rotating. But T.J. Clemmings getting beat by Cameron Wake around the edge to get the big sack. And then, of course, all the extracurricular stuff going on afterwards that John Gruden's having a friendly conversation with the officials to get clarity.
Cameron Wake, career sack number 93. Not bad for a guy undrafted out of Penn State.
One thing about Kelechi Osemele, he's the enforcer in that offensive line. So if anybody's getting around his quarterback, he's going to be taking care of it.
And we're still talking about it.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 93. Number 93 of Miami has been disqualified from the game. That 15-yard foul will be enforced from the dead ball spot. It's first down, Oakland.
So that's Akeem Spence, the defensive tackle, who has been ejected.
Well, and that's a big loss for the Dolphins. Akeem Spence came over in a trade from Detroit, really to help solidify that defensive line. He and Robert Quinn coming over, joining Jordan Phillips and Cameron Wake. And just talking to the coaches about the presence that Spence has brought.
Yeah, William Hayes went down earlier.
That is a big launch. He already has a helmet in his hand.
So what you're talking about, Coach, is you're losing big D linemen on a very hot day.
Yeah, very uncalled for penalty. I mean, he should be ejected right there. But yeah, you're down 2 defensive linemen. The heat, I mean, that's a short rotation now for that defensive line of Miami. And great field position now for the Raiders after that penalty.
Raiders out to their own 48-yard line, first down. 10.5 to play in the first half. This is Lynch. And Lynch across midfield and into Miami territory at about the 47.5-yard line.
Yeah, I would look for the Raiders to keep pounding right now. You know, you got that big, strong, physical offensive line, and just start leaning on these defensive linemen who are now thin.
William Hayes went down and out of the game with an ankle injury. At least we assume it was an ankle injury. It looked to be the injured part of his body. We have no for sure yet, no official word. And now Akeem Spence has been ejected. Meanwhile, Jalen Richard out of the backfield. And inside the 40, let's go down to Melanie.
Well, Greg, no need to speculate anymore as I have an answer. You're talking about the short rotation on the defensive line. William Hayes is questionable to return with a knee injury.
All right, Melanie, thank you. By the way, we should give additional kudos to Melanie for getting up and running that 5K as she did. We were all supporting her strongly from the comfort of our beds.
Yes, indeed. I was drinking coffee thinking about you all morning.
Great job,
Thanks,
Melanie.
Greg.
Great job.
Monday. Stay hot. Blue white. Is that?
On first down, on the ground, Marshawn Lynch. And Lynch inside the 35 to the 34. Time for another update from New York. JB and Phil Simms.
Wow, congratulations, Melanie. Hey, Mahomes.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes acting like a young Trent Green here. Turns and goes one direction, turns around the other way, throws a 4-yard touchdown to Chris Conley. Kansas City 21-7 over San Francisco. Back to Greg, Trent, Bruce, and Melanie.
Yeah, Trent was just telling me how much Patrick Mahomes reminded him of himself the other day.
That looked just like Trent.
I appreciate that, Phil, giving me that much mobility.
Lynch to the 30. We are told that right tackle Donald Penn of the Oakland Raiders being evaluated for a concussion.
Again, now the defensive line, there's all kind of mix-up because the normal rotation isn't there. Robert Quinn doesn't normally play rundowns, and you want to wear out pass rushers, make them play on first and second down, and that's exactly what the Raiders are doing to these guys now with this short rotation.
3rd and 1.
Monday. Done. Blue white. Is that?
Lynch. Second effort might have gotten him the first down. While he had been pushed away from the line of scrimmage and came roaring back. He got the first down.
Yeah, it makes you think, go back on that 4th and 1 on the goal line. Why did we give it to him? Because he got all that on his own. There was not much blocking in front of him, and just great desire and effort by Marshawn Lynch right there.
Well, you hear different guys talk about tackling different players different way. They said with Marshawn Lynch, you can't go too low because you'll step right through it. You can't go too high because you'll push the pile and carry you. You need to tackle him around the thigh boards, around the waist, because that's where his power is coming from. That time the Dolphins not getting it done, and Lynch getting the first down.
Here's the flip, and coming around is Dwayne Harris, and Harris out of bounds, close to the 20-yard line. Once again, back to New York. These guys are getting paid by the word today, JB and Phil.
Breeze on top.
You're right. Hey, how about this? Drew Brees, this completion, 17 yards to Michael Thomas, sets the NFL record, passes Brett Favre for completions, 6,301. And we'll be quiet, Greg. Back to you, Trent, Bruce, and Melanie.
Hey, congratulations to Drew Brees. What an incredible career.
Yes, indeed.
Had a very difficult shoulder injury his last year in San Diego, and is really put together a heck of a run in New Orleans.
180. What's up?
On 2nd and 3, this is Doug Martin. Martin dragged down just at the 20-yard line by Jordan Phillips.
A little surprised there, Trent, because John Gruden talks a lot about audibling at the line of scrimmage. They had 3 wide receivers set, and the Dolphins kept a 7 box. So they had one-on-one across the board, and they still decided to run it up in there for 1 yard.
Well, that's another thing that Derek Carr, he has the full freedom at the line of scrimmage. John Gruden giving him those freedoms, talking to Greg Olson about that, the offensive coordinator, just how much freedom Derek has to find the right play to get into.
3rd and 2, 12th play of this 6.5-minute drive. Carr looking, throws, complete. This is Jared Cook, and Cook inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal.
What a great job by Derek Carr extending that play and finding the trailer. He's like the 5th option on that play of all eligible receivers.
I just watched the reaction of Jared Cook. He has no idea. He's just kind of jogging out, following the play. Oh, there's the ball. I guess I'm going to go ahead and go and get it inside the 10, 1st and goal. Great awareness, as you said, by Carr.
There's Greg Olson. To quote Derek Carr, I just love the guy.
Well, that was his offensive coordinator, Derek Carr's rookie year in 2014. So back together, and Carr just really couldn't say enough good things about their relationship.
This is Lynch. And Lynch continues to push. Brought down at about the 2.
A lot of defensive linemen on their knees right now for the Miami Dolphins. They're gassed.
Well, that was a big thing coming into this. We thought the Raiders, with their defensive line issues and injuries and new guys they're bringing in, we're going to have a difficult time in this heat. But the penalty down here, they kept the Raiders alive on the sack of Carr at midfield. All of a sudden, those guys have to be out on the field that much longer. And as you mentioned, Coach, there's a lot of gas defensive linemen right now.
On 2nd and goal, Carr keeps it, throws, incomplete. Cook, the intended receiver, at about the 3. It'll be 3rd and goal.
It was really a good throwaway. He had nothing there. They tried to little naked off the play action, and sometimes it's a good time to throw it away. Keep yourself in a situation here, 3rd and short on the goal line.
You and I are on the same exact page. I was just about to say, people aren't happy with that, but that's a good decision, smart decision. Leave yourself a manageable 3rd down here inside or right around the 2-yard line. So even though it wasn't pretty, that's a smart play.
And we get a timeout. And the timeout is taken by the Miami Dolphins with 4:04 to play. Just a reminder for you, coming up, the Verizon Halftime Report. JB and Phil and Nate and Boomer and Coach Cowher with all the latest scores and highlights, all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So after the Dolphins had come back to tie, this feels like a really important drive for the Oakland Raiders, and they certainly want more than 3 points out of it.
Yeah, they need to get a touchdown. They've settled for too many field goals in the red zone this year, but we can't say enough of how big that penalty was to maintain this drive. And they're doing a good job of taking a gift plus wearing out that defensive line. 2 things that happened on that penalty. Drive kept going, and we lost a defensive lineman.
3 tight ends are now on the field for the Raiders. Jared Cook, Lee Smith, Derek Carrier, and Lynch in the backfield. And we get a whistle, and this doesn't count.
Before the snap, full start. Offense number 77, 5 yards, 3rd down.
That's the rookie, Colton Miller, his 2nd of the day.
And we were talking about this. John Gruden, what's he get fired up about? Wasted plays. He said, I know penalties are going to happen, but wasted plays are when you have mental mistake like that. And now all of a sudden you go 3rd and 2, or 3rd and goal at the 2 to pushing it back to the 7.
Yeah, pre-snap penalties drive coaches crazy. I mean, it's just listening and counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. It's not that hard.
I can see, son, what is the problem? All you got to do is count to 3.
Oh, man.
And we're not getting right back to it just yet. And this timeout goes courtesy of the Oakland Raiders. So a 3rd and goal, and you're pushed back now to the 8-yard line. Have you taken Marshawn Lynch out of the mix?
Oh, I think definitely. I mean, there's no way you can't even fake to him. The only thing that he would be in the mix for is a check down and run somebody over. Take a completion down to the 3 or 4 and run it in. But you're going to probably see 2 high safeties and double on the outside guys. And where's Jordy Nelson? Where's Jared Cook?
Well, and that was going to be the interesting thing on 3rd and 2. You had Cook lined up one-on-one on the outside against Minka, against Fitzpatrick, where you're going to just do a one-on-one jump ball because of the size advantage there. And then you have the double tight ends here. So if all of a sudden double help goes here, you got 2 tight ends on the other side. So that was perfectly set up. Now at 3rd and 7, you got to find the matchup that you think can best take advantage of. And remember, Brian up here, big tall receiver that can jump up and get it. And if you're keeping him in one-on-one,
little screen, Marshawn Lynch. Lynch going to be run out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage, so nothing there. And that'll bring the field goal unit on for John Gruden's Oakland Raiders.
That's really a win for the Miami Dolphins. After everything that was said and done, to hold them to a field goal right here because of the penalty.
Well, Vincent Taylor for the Dolphins, you got to give him, he recognizes the screen coming. Kiko Alonso comes with the pressure on the blitz. Taylor just flushes him all the way to no lane to cut back.
This will be a 25-yard attempt for Mike Nugent to give the Raiders the lead again. And from 25 yards, that's good. And with 3:34 to play in the first half, Raiders up by 3. We're back after this. We're always talking about response. What does the other guy do when you get scored on? The Raiders went 68 yards in 16 plays, put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, it's kind of like a boxing match. You just lost a round, you got to come back and win a round.
8.5 minutes. Now you know why the defensive line was gassed. It's the penalty helped keep that drive alive right around midfield, and Raiders went down and took the lead.
And Oakland leads the time of possession, 16 minutes 40 seconds compared to 9:46 for Miami. And Jakeem Grant from a couple of yards deep in the end zone. 20, tripped up and forward to about the 25-yard line. Just a reminder, coming up, the Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach. All the latest NFL scores and highlights, all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Just from the update so far today, they've got stuff to talk about.
Quite a bit. Quite a bit going on around the league.
Now the Dolphins have 3:29. They burned one of their timeouts back there in the substitution problem, so they only have 1 timeout and a 2-minute warning.
Well, they should be fresh. Only 16 plays up until this point, so.
Tannehill on the slant. That's complete to Amendola.
Yeah, nothing could have played out better for the Oakland defense to only have to play this short amount of time in the first half. They just get off the field on this drive and get the ball back to their offense.
Clock continues to move, each team with 1 timeout remaining as we come up on 3 minutes to play in the first half. Tannehill with time, throwing, and that's complete across midfield to Mike Gesicki, the tight end. On second thought, that looks like A.J. Derby. Or is it?
Yeah, it looks like Derby. It was an excellent throw by Tannehill, laying that over the top of the linebacker, the underneath linebacker, and dropping it right in. Raiders going in man-to-man.
So from the 47 now, under 2.5 to play.
What? 180. What?
On the play fake, Tannehill with time this side of the field, and that is complete at the 35, and getting out of bounds, Kenny Stills. Good job by Stills.
Dolphins doing a good job of max protection going against one-on-one. They had play action, max protection. Stills one-on-one down here against Conley, and just wears him out on the comeback. Got great speed up the field. Good delivery by Tannehill.
Remember the last time Stills took an inside release like that, he went over the top to the deep corner for the touchdown. That time he gets leverage and he throws the corner by and is able to get the route.
2 minutes to play. 10-7, Raiders.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Welcome back, everyone. 2 minutes to play. Each team with one timeout remaining. Raiders with a 3-point lead. Miami at the Oakland 26 with a first down. Only 3 first downs for the Dolphins in their first 4 drives of this game. They have 3 first downs on this drive. And looking for more. Tannehill has time. End zone. Incomplete. Right through the hands of the intended receiver, Kenny Stills. A little bit too far.
Great job. He got big package again. Put Stills across the motion. Got quarters coverage. Exactly. They ran a double post concept. Inside safety. Grabbed the inside receiver. He had him wide open and just missed him.
When you're calling plays, you're waiting for that perfect coverage. As soon as you see that coverage, you're like, you just got to hit it.
You got to hit it, and then, you know, that one's off the chart. Go to the next one.
Right.
You don't get to play that one again.
On 2nd and 10. Tannehill. Short one over the middle. That's complete. This is Albert Wilson. Penalty flags are down. He's out of bounds close to the 10. They'll mark him out at the 11. The flag is in the backfield.
Well, that's the thing. As a quarterback and as a play caller, you have to put that stuff behind you and go on to the next one.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10 yards. Replay second down.
That's the center, Daniel Kilgore.
Kilgore will be right in the middle of your screen there, 67. Coach just threw his hands up in the booth.
That looked like a dadgum good block right there. I don't see much holding right there. He just put him on his back. But again, it pushes them back. They're near out of field goal range. So if the Raiders can do anything right here, they can hold them out of here.
On 2nd and 20. Tannehill over the middle. Oh, what a catch at the 25-yard line. What a grab made by Mike Gesicki, the tight end.
This is another one of those young tight ends who's a receiver, not a blocker, but he's a mismatch coming into the league. And a lot of these young guys, but he is a big, tall target they really like.
The 2nd-round draft pick out of Penn State.
I would watch him on the fade right here.
3rd and 9. Tannehill throwing wide open inside the 15 and pushing to about the 12 is Frank Gore. And we have a flag.
Pass interference. Offense number 10. It's a 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
So this one's going to go against wide receiver Kenny Stills.
Well, it's really going to be a double post concept. So you're going to come in here. You're basically clearing things out, and then you got the post right behind it, or the skinny post right behind it, and they're going to call Stills with a rub right there. Oh, that's. I don't agree with that call.
Wow. The linebacker hit him.
The linebacker came up and hit him. He wasn't going in trying to make a pick. He's trying to run his drag route underneath.
He was avoiding contact, and the defender hit him.
Wow.
So 3rd and 19. Tannehill can't get away and goes down at the 45-yard line. In the grasp of Clinton McDonald.
Well, that's a huge sack. That takes them out of field goal range. They were down inside the 20.
We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in half a minute right after this. 58 seconds to play. Oakland used its final timeout for that last break, and John Gruden having a discussion with his quarterback as Matt Hawk gets set to kick it.
Well, Coach, you just said they're on the verge of field goal range, and by taking that sack on third down, if Tannehill throws that away, yeah, it's going to be a 53, 54-yard attempt, but at least you have a chance on it. It's just the two penalties that were called on that drive make you scratch your head a little bit. Adam Gase isn't real happy with that.
Hawk pops this one up, and the fair catch is made by Dwayne Harris at about the 10-yard line. Let's go to Melanie.
Well, Greg, the defense held tough there, but they're going to have to do it for the rest of the game without safety Carl Joseph, who has been ruled out with a lower leg injury.
All right, Melanie, thank you. So Carl Joseph is out.
I doubt the Raiders try anything. They'll probably screen or draw here, trying to see if they can get some chunk. And without a timeout, I think they're happy to get to the halftime with the lead.
I agree with you, Coach.
And they are going to come out in a really safe formation, take the snap. And one more of those will take us to halftime. So these Oakland Raiders, worthy of note, they will have led at all three halftimes to start this season. But they come in here to Miami at 0-2. And we talked at the very beginning of the day about their consistency or lack thereof on defense.
But they have played really well today. The biggest thing today is penalties. And it's been a problem for them all year. But they kind of went in their favor a little bit in that last drive and helped stop them. But their defense, the best thing about their defense, they're playing very few snaps in the first half.
We count down the final seconds of the first half, and that will officially bring half this game to an end. Oakland jumped out to a start. Miami recovered for the tie. Oakland with a field goal. It's 10-7 Raiders at halftime. And our halftime from New York is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station. Welcome back, everyone. About ready to start the second half. 10-7 Raiders in the lead. Let's look at the first half highlight presented by DirecTV. Derek Carr to Jordy Nelson. It's been quite the combination for the Oakland Raiders today. Nelson racking up the yardage, and it's a one field goal lead for the Raiders, who have led at halftime in every single game they've played this season, yet they arrive today at 0-2. Do you think John Gruden, coach, is reminding his team of that?
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt. You know, the Raider defense didn't have to play much in the first half, but I think the Raider offense is the key to the second half. They haven't scored a point all season in the fourth quarter. They need to do it today.
I think if you're Adam Gase and the Miami Dolphins, you have to be happy that this is only a 3-point game because the Raiders dominated that first half. Over 100 more yards. Time of possession was 5 more minutes. Time of possession. Really, the Dolphins are lucky to be this close right now.
Trent, are you going to look a lot, as you take a look at the numbers from the first half, are you going to put a lot on this opening drive in the second half for the Miami Dolphins? They get the ball first.
I don't put as much importance on it as I normally would because of how ineffective the Raiders have been in the fourth quarter. I would say if this game stays close going into the fourth quarter, you'd have to think the advantage goes to Miami because of the way the Raiders have played so far this season in that fourth quarter.
Well, Jakeem Grant on the run at the 4-yard line. Going the other way, trying to turn the corner, can't, splits the difference, and is out to about the 23-yard line. Let's get on to Melanie.
Well, Greg, I was able to speak with both coaches. Let's start with John Gruden. He said with the injury to Donald Penn at right tackle, we're going to be extremely challenged along the offensive line in the second half. He wasn't pleased with the penalties. He said the roughing the passer, the penalty especially hurt us, and he plans to address those at halftime. I'm sure he did in the locker room. And then with Adam Gase, he said with our guys out along the defensive line, we know they're going to be running the ball against us. We have to stay fundamentally sound in our technique, Greg.
All right, Melanie, thank you. Coaches assessing their situation as we start the second half. And Tannehill gets going from his own 23-yard line. And he'll do it through the air. That's complete. Albert Wilson across the 30 and close to another first down at about the 33-yard line. And now this is coming back.
Pass interference. Offense number 19. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
And Jakeem Grant is called for offensive pass interference.
Well, Coach Mike, we talked about the officials earlier and scouting reports that you do as teams, and there must have been something about this game coming in that to look for those plays, because there was that one at the end of the first half that the Dolphins got called for on what they said was a pick or offensive pass interference, which clearly wasn't, and then now the first time out. So these officials must have been tuned in for this game to watch those types of plays.
There's no doubt. The Raiders sent in a bunch of film.
So on 1st and 20 now, this is Gore. And Bruce Irvin making the stop.
This is a similar situation. They had 1st and 20 early in the game, and they come back with a run for a yard. Get a short pass. Get something. Get at least 5. You got to get something to get you somewhere back in 3rd down manageable distance.
You know, in the first 2 games of this season, Miami had 61 penalty yards, tied for the fewest in the league. Today, they've got 56 racked up.
Hut! 180! Hut!
On the play fake, Tannehill. Good time, now rolls and throws and complete and run out of bounds is Kenyon Drake. Tahir Whitehead with the force out as we look at Miami's possessions in the first half. A lot of frustration there, Trent.
Yeah, it should be a lot of frustration. They weren't on the field very long. Only a few plays. The touchdown came on that big pass play, the corner route to Kenny Stills, and for the most part, the Raiders did a good job. There's been some untimely penalties that the Dolphins have dealt with, and just not getting anything going.
3rd and 11. Tannehill had it blocked by Rashawn Melvin coming in on his right side.
Well, that time the Raiders came with a blitz, and they held their disguise long. Early in the game, they were giving up their disguises too soon, as you said, Trent. This time, they showed a strong side blitz, rotated weak, and brought a weak corner, and he did a great job of getting his hands up and blocking it. Good job by Conley. Really well disguised and well planned out by Paul Gunter. Excellent defensive coordinator for the Raiders.
Well, and Whitehead blitzed to that same side, so you had a linebacker and a corner, so only Kenyon Drake over there. You had to pick one of the two. You have to get rid of the ball quick because you have an unblocked man.
Terrific kick by Hawk. Dwayne Harris dodges the first tackler at the 22-yard line across the 30 and down at about the 32. 12:42 to play in the 3rd quarter. 3-point lead for Oakland. Ryan Tannehill hasn't been able to jumpstart the offense the way he would like. 12:42 to play in the 3rd. And the Raiders from their own 33.
Monday. Set! Blue 80! Set!
Quick pass outside. That is complete. And Amari Cooper with a reception. And Amari Cooper with such a big week last week, nothing nearly that so far as we take a look at the Raiders' first half possessions and up and down first half offensively.
Well, and you look at this drive here, 16 plays, 8.5 minutes. That's where they were wearing down that Miami defense, especially that front, that defensive line.
Yeah, 3 of those possessions started inside the 5.
3 tight ends again on 2nd and 2. Carr looking back the other way. This is Lynch. Lynch has the first down and more as he's bumped out of bounds by Kiko Alonso.
Yeah, excellent start to the half. Raiders 8 yards on first down. Gives them a chance to take a shot. They go maximum protection. Miami covers it well. Derek goes through his entire progression and finds Marshawn back on the backside, gets the first down.
Well, and when you run the ball effectively on first down, you can get to your play action passes, which is exactly what they did. So your pass rush isn't as intense because they've got to balance things out between the run and the pass. Carr had plenty of time on that throw.
This is Lynch. Cross midfield to the 49. And Raekwon McMillan with the stop. So it'll be 2nd and 8. I think we see a concerted effort on the part of the Oakland Raiders to pound it at that defensive line.
Well, I'm just watching. We've been talking about the defensive line, and Cameron Wake and Robert Quinn both coming up. Look at both of them have their hands on their hips. It's a hot day out there, and with the rotation dwindled now because of the two guys out.
98 Clay.
They'll be back in on third down.
yeah, they will.
But they're getting a blow right now.
Play clock winds down, and Carr didn't get the snap off in time and is going to raise a fuss about it.
Before the snap, delay a game by the offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
You know, John Gruden's having a fit. There's one of those plays that he just raved
wasted
about
play.
yesterday when all the veins, like you said, where all the veins were popping out of his neck. Wasted plays.
Well, you can see the clock clearly at 0 before that ball is snapped. The official in the back deep middle is the one that's in charge of that because he has his eyes on the quarterback and the play clock right over the shoulder of Derek Carr, so right on top of it.
2nd and 13 now. Quick pass outside. That is complete to Dwayne Harris, number 17. And Harris fights his way to about the 49, maybe midfield. So it'll be 3rd and 9. Cameron Wake and Andre Branch, and these guys are feeling the heat more than most out there.
Well, as you said, those guys are back out on the field. They're going to be coming off the edges here. They know this is a passing situation. Don't be surprised the Raiders don't try to sneak in a screen or something. They know those guys will be getting upfield.
Needing the 41 for a first down. The pass is caught at the 40-yard line, right about at the line to gain by Martavis Bryant, and it will be a first down for the Raiders.
Really good job by Colton Miller, the young left tackle who they're raving about over at the Raiders, holding off Robert Quinn. Got a little chip help from Jared Cook, and Robert Quinn he's one of the most amazing guys at strip sacking quarterbacks, and he was close on that one.
New set of downs for the Raiders, and this is Doug Martin, and Martin weaves his way inside the 35 to about the 33.
I'm going to go way back to the beginning of this game, Coach, and what did you say one of the biggest things you're going to keep an eye on is first down success. Which team is going to have the most success on first down, because that leads to flexibility with your play calling on 2nd and 3rd down and keeping things in 3rd and short. Right now, the Raiders are winning first down.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, they're run and pass.
Under 8.5 to play. Here in the 3rd, 2nd and 4. Derek Carr, 4 out of 4 throwing on this drive. Hands it to Marshawn Lynch. And Lynch, backing his way inside the 30, appears to have enough for another first down. He does. Kiko Alonso again with the tackle.
Well, Lynch hit at the line of scrimmage by 2 different defenders, but yet he breaks through it. Alonso gets him down, but he gets him down after he gets the first down. It was those 2 initial guys that make contact.
Yeah,
you got to be able to wrap them up.
We call those mush tackles. You know, you tackled him, but he mushed you down there for about 4 more yards.
He does that to a lot of people.
Oakland has run the ball 20 times, passed the ball 21 times. And this is Lynch. And Lynch still on his feet. Look at the number of Miami Dolphins around him. To the 21-yard line.
And I know we keep saying it. First down, run, another 7-yard gain.
Yeah, you know, that's a play they had a lot of success against Denver with last year, the weak side zone last week. And, you know, having Martavis Bryant out there, that just changes a little bit of the coverage out there for him. And pounding away on him on the left side.
Oakland just eating up the time with ball possession. On 2nd and 3, this is Lynch. Number 22, T.J. McDonald hauling him down, coming around from behind.
Well, Andre Branch has got to be really upset with himself. He comes off free. Nobody's blocking him. It's just he and Lynch one-on-one, and Lynch made him miss, and fortunately for Branch, McDonald was coming down from behind and able to make the tackle.
Yeah, it looked like Derek audibled again to that weak side zone, and Colton Miller didn't get the audible. But what a move by Marshawn Lynch.
So another big defensive down for the Miami Dolphins. 3rd and 2.
Done. Blue waiting. It's done.
Carr going to throw for it. Out to this side. That's complete. Keith Smith out of the backfield, and he is right at that first down marker. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like he might have it. He does. And we have a Miami Dolphin. That's the rookie linebacker, Jerome Baker, yet to get off his knees on the field. Baker, the 3rd round draft pick for the Dolphins out of Ohio State. So they'll take a look at him, and we'll take a break.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Corona Extra. Find your beach. State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by the new super powerful Samsung Galaxy Note 9.
You might have gotten the impression it's a little warm downstairs. Our Melanie Collins knows it for sure.
Blue waiting.
First down.
It's done.
Marshawn Lynch. He's going to lose yardage on this one. Back to the 20. Let's go down to Miller.
Well, Greg, the heat is especially affecting the Raiders right now as they are just baking in the sun down here in their black jerseys. The Dolphins are comfortable over there in the shade, but the Raiders are dousing themselves in cold towels, doing anything possible to keep cool down here, and just something to keep in mind for this Raiders team that has shown fatigue in the last 2 games in the second half, Greg.
All right, Melanie, thank you. We were talking during the break. You guys say, yeah, cramping is the worst thing that happens on a day like this. 2nd and 12. Carr to the sideline. That is complete to Richard out of the backfield. And he'll be marked out at about the 8.
Yeah, enough for the first down.
First and goal.
They had Martavis Bryant on that side just running an outside release with man coverage, and Richard comes out and nobody's there. Nobody's in the underneath coverage.
Yeah, he just ran an option route to the flat and easy 12-yard pickup, pitch and catch.
That's way too much cushion on 2nd down, 2nd and long for that matter.
Jerome Baker, the injured rookie linebacker who left the game a couple of minutes ago, is back onto the field, and on the quick snap, Carr rolling, looking, and at the 5-yard line, Jared Cook pulls it in. Had a chance to talk with that guy yesterday.
Yeah, he's really excited. He felt like John Gruden gives them everything possible in a game plan to be successful as an individual and as a collective group.
Yeah, that's what he said. It was great to have that conversation because you and I afterwards we were talking about that, and he made it very clear, if as a player you're listening to everything that John Gruden's giving you, you're going to be prepared for all the different situations. And he was just saying how appreciative he is with John Gruden coming in.
2nd and goal from the 4. Carr throwing at the goal line, looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Jared Cook.
I think they could have scored if they handed that one off and they brought it out on the bootleg, and Jared Cook just drug him in the end zone.
Well, I know we got the new catch rule and all that stuff, so we're going to have to take another look at it. That ball pops up in the air. See if he has complete control of it. This is a pretty easy pitch and catch. He's down in. That'll stay a touchdown. I don't think there's enough to overturn that. So he's got it secured, knee to the ground, ball's breaking the plane.
His football move.
Yep. Well, it looks like they're going to take a look at it. They just announced on the field. I was trying to see where the ball was when his knee came down. It looks like it was breaking the plane when that knee went down. So officials are going to take a look as well.
They'll review. We'll take a break.
The officials have reversed the call and have marked him down at the half-yard line. I thought he had broke the plane, but as you take a further look at it, watch when his knee makes contact with the ground, and the ball is going to be a half a yard short, setting up first and goal, or third and goal.
Movement on the left side before the play could begin to develop. Derek Carr is convinced this is a penalty against the Dolphins. And that's what it appears the officials think too.
Encroachment. Defense number 56. Half the distance to the goal. Third down.
So there is minuscule advancement of the football.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if the guy trying to make a play right there. It's only a 2-inch penalty.
That's right. Try and time it out. Get the back. Be disruptive. Get in the backfield, right?
Yes, indeed. Jump it and go.
It's like when you're on the offense, you're coming out of your own end zone. Go ahead and hard count, because what's it going to be? A foot and a half if you're on the 1 yard line, right? So try and time it out again here.
Third and goal. Marshawn Lynch airborne to the end zone.
That's big. That's what they have not been doing. They've been kicking field goals all year. That's a huge touchdown for them on that drive.
Well, way back in the first half, they had a chance on the 1 yard line to go for it. They tried sneaking it in with fullback Keith Smith. This time they said, you know what, we're going to give it to Big 2-4. He gets up and over.
He still got some hops for an old guy.
He got some hops.
Marshawn Lynch in his 11th season out of California. His third rushing touchdown of the season. The extra point is good. And with just under 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, Oakland has jumped to a 10-point lead. 17-7. The coach on the sideline.
Thank goodness, finally. John's really happy. He's not showing it, but he's really happy.
He may be dehydrated too. That's not for him. That's not a lot. You get him.
Well, we keep in mind John Gruden's still looking for that first win.
Yeah, it's been a long time
of this season. (17-7) Oakland.
Excellent drive by the Raiders, getting down in there, and then, you know, we talked about it during the whole drive. They had to finish it, right? They couldn't settle for a field goal. They had to find a way to get it into the end zone, and they did.
And this is, you know, they ate up almost the entire third quarter on the drive, and when you eat up that much clock and get a touchdown, boy, that takes a lot out of the other team.
Jakeem Grant will run it out from 3 yards deep in the end zone. Changes course. 25, 30, and out of bounds. Reggie Nelson ran him out. A Saturday, the best game from the best conference features Tennessee taking on second-ranked Georgia. The Vols and their new head coach, Jeremy Pruitt, looking to avenge a tough loss last year against the Bulldogs. College football today kicks off the day at 3 Eastern time on CBS. Word from downstairs, Andre Branch is questionable to continue the today with a knee injury.
Stay. Run!
So the Dolphins from their own 30.
180!
Tannehill with time, throwing. Oh, collision at the 45-yard line, and what a catch made by Danny Amendola. A couple of Raiders still down after that hit. What a grab.
Well, Whitehead was in coverage out by the sideline, and he fell off on. He's the one that's going to get the hit. As we see, looks like Marcus Gilchrist is one of the guys down. Rashawn Melvin a little slow. Well, that was Melvin. I said it was Whitehead. He was in coverage out in the flat. You talk about the safety of the game and the way they've changed rules. Before, that would have been a total flip.
Oh. We'll take a timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com. And by Allstate, reminding you that football season is mayhem.
Yeah, a quick look at Ocean Drive, the center of the Miami Art Deco district. And Coach, as you well know, it's also known as the Fashion Boulevard of Miami.
Of course.
Of course. Walking wounded off the field on their own power, and Tannehill going deep down the sideline. Got his man, Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker one-on-one with Garyon Conley. Parker's first game back because of the hand injury. He's able to get a step on Conley, and Tannehill perfectly drops this ball in over the outside shoulder. Much needed first down for the Dolphins.
40-yard pickup. And the ball will be placed at the nowhere so far.
Yeah, the Dolphins are trying to go tempo and can't get the ball spotted.
And they'll finally put it at the 19. Put it at the 19, wind the clock, and we've got about 1:40 to the end of the third. Drake. Boy, this Miami rushing game has been nothing today.
Yeah, the Raider defensive front seven has done a heck of a job, and their safeties. Safety field there on the edge. They blitzed inside, brought the safety down. Receiver couldn't block him. 0 yards.
Well, that's one of the things I'm surprised with. That you know, the Raiders come in as the 31st ranked rush defense, and the Dolphins averaging 128 yards per game on the ground, but so far today completely ineffective. 18 yards rushing for the Dolphins up until this point.
This is Jakeem Grant. Grant turning the corner to the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, Grant may only be 5'7", but he can roll. He's got the speed to be able to take that around the edge.
Now, he built like a running back. He was one of the most explosive players in the draft a couple years ago. It's just where the heck you're going to play him, and he's found his niche in this offense.
Well, that's technically going to be considered a touchdown pass for Ryan Tannehill because he flipped it to him, so that'll be a shuffle pass. So that's a good stat inflator if you're Tannehill, but I guess I consider that more rushing yards, but that'll go down as a touchdown pass. Heck of a job by Grant. Great job out front blocking for him and then just utilizing the speed to get in.
Sanders' extra point is good. And with 55 seconds to play here in the third, the Dolphins inch to within 3 of the Oakland Raiders at 17-14. And here comes Jakeem Grant.
Just when when the Raiders looked like they'd taken control of the game, here the Dolphins bounce right back, and now it's a 3-point game, and it's anybody's game, and this is right where the Raiders have been for 2 weeks.
Well, it's important to point out that Devontae Parker being back, he set up that drive with the big catch down the sideline to get him down into that field position. And when you look at Grant and you look at Albert Wilson, you look at Danny Amendola, all those guys are under 6 feet, right? So you get a big guy that can utilize and open things up, and it's a bigger target for your quarterback. So they've got the guys underneath with speed that create space and get open. It's a nice combination to have back. They haven't been effective running the ball. We just talked about that, and getting the passing game going is going to be important as we move closer to the fourth quarter.
The Raiders are loading up the box. We talked about the safeties down, so they're getting one-on-one outside. They should have a chance at some more shots like that.
Remember, Oakland led by 12 in the second half at Denver last week and lost to a Broncos field goal with 6 seconds to play. So John Gruden hoping to win the last time, nearly 17 years, in the 2001 wild card against the Jets. Jerry Rice had 183 receiving yards and a TD. Charlie Garner ran for a game-clinching 80-yard score. Gruden and the Raiders won it. They lost to the Patriots in the infamous Tuck Rule game 7 days later, in John Gruden's last game in his first go-around as coach of the Raiders. You know what I like about talking with John Gruden? He gives you that smile, and you know there isn't a slightest bit of humor in it.
That's a smirk. It's not a smile.
First down at the 25.
Blue Whitey, what's up?
Quick slant. That's complete to Jordy Nelson. Had a big first half.
Nice job there by Derek Carr. Saw the weak safety blitz coming down. Kind of gave Jordy a little nod out there, and that's one of those plays you get out of a bad play with it's a running play. You throw a quick slant to your wide receiver.
That was a running play to the right. The offensive line blocked it as a run to the right. The running backs took off like it was a run to the right. Derek Carr with a built-in quick slant outside to Jordy Nelson, as you said, Coach. Recognize that safety coming down on the line of scrimmage. Just flip it out. Easy completion. Making positive yards on first down.
Monday, hot. Blue Whitey.
6 yards to be exact, 2nd and 4. And a whistle. And a timeout.
Before the snap, timeout, Oakland. Their first of the half. 30-second timeout.
So Oakland uses one of its timeouts here. And it's been somebody new and different every week for the Oakland Raiders on the receiving end.
Yeah, John Gruden and his staff do a great job of finding matchups, and each week it's been a different guy. Today it's obviously Jordy Nelson, and he's still got a long way to go.
Yeah, 180 yards on 7 catches by Cook. Cooper had the 116 on 10 catches, and then Jordy today, 157 yards on just 5 catches. 2 big chunks there right at the beginning of the game.
You know, they haven't gone back to him down the middle like they had earlier in the game. That's got to come back and show up again here soon.
"11 straight pass completions for Derek Carr." That one almost picked off on the outside by Torrey McTyer, number 24.
McTyer was probably thinking he had a pick 6 coming. It looks like just at the end there, Richard gets a finger on it just to deflect it a little bit.
He looked like a DB trying to catch that too, but they ran a little trap zone. They had the option. He broke him out in the corner, stank, and then dropped back and had a pick 6 all the way. It was great defensive call.
That stops the string of completions. 3rd and 4.
Dolphins with 10 guys at the line of scrimmage and man-to-man coverage.
In and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Amari Cooper. It would have been a first down. Instead, they'll kick it away. And Cooper still on the field. Now up and trotting off.
Dolphins, as I said, with 10 guys at the line of scrimmage. Xavier Howard man-to-man. You see the outside stem release by Cooper. Gets back inside. That's a catch that you got to make.
Yeah, the ball hit him right in the hands. He's had that problem in the past and critical drops, and he's just got to overcome them to become the great player he should be.
Jakeem Grant, dangerous kick returner. Fair catch called for and made at about the 15-yard line. We come to the end of the 3rd. We're back right after this. Our producer, Ken Mack, our director, Suzanne Smith, and along with Melanie Collins, Bruce Arians, and Trent Green, Greg Gumbel, as we start the 4th. 17-14 Oakland Raiders. And Tannehill and company from their own 15-yard line. Drake. And still nothing happening on the ground for the Miami Dolphins. Now, let's talk about the 4th quarter and what happens with the Oakland Raiders. Nothing comes up on the scoreboard once you start the 4th for them this season.
Yeah, everybody wants to blame their defense, but their offense hasn't scored a point. And right now, they've got to answer. Whatever happens right here, they've got to lead, and they've got to answer the bell, whatever happens with the Dolphins offense.
They've been dominating up until the end of the 3rd quarter in time of possession, in number of plays and conversions, but now they've got to do it in the 4th quarter. Finish out a game.
Tannehill, that's complete. And across the 30, close to the 35, is Mike Gesicki, the tight end, the rookie from Penn State.
get him spread in a two-deep zone, and he runs a pivot route, comes back in wide open underneath the linebackers. Again, a lot of speed for that big young tight end.
That was good for 19 yards and another first down. Fake it to Gore. Tannehill going deep down the middle, incomplete. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie covering Devontae Parker. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That was a veteran move, Trent. He had him covered. One step, waited, just got up, batted the ball down, kept his left hand out of there. He's done it well. He's done it great for a long time.
So, guys, tell me, how does a play action work when you only have 18 yards rushing on the day?
Well, they weren't honoring it because they were in a two-deep scheme. You know, they were not honoring the run whatsoever.
2nd and 10. Tannehill flips it for Albert Wilson. And he comes up short of the 35-yard line.
Great hustle by Maurice Hurst. Big man just chasing that thing down. He read the screen quickly and just got out there.
Well, that's part of this offense. This offense is a stretch sideline to sideline. They want to get you. They want to get your defense running sideline to try and wear you out so that you can be more effective in the fourth quarter. But right now, as you mentioned, Hurst chased it down, didn't allow anything to happen, and brought up a 3rd and 10.
Taylor! Run! 180!
Penalty markers down. And the play is blown dead. Let's see who's at fault.
Unimpeded to the quarterback. Defense number 96. 5 yards. They're down.
Now he means number 95, Fadal Brown, the first-year man out of Ole Miss. Well, it's called a good head start.
Yeah, the Raiders had them in 3rd and 10. Again, penalties have been a problem for them in the fourth quarter also. They lose their discipline, and it costs them dearly. Now they're back in 3rd and 5, and anything can happen.
Significantly different play call, 3rd and 10 to 3rd and 5, and for that matter, you have to do a different defense as well.
180!
Tannehill flips it out, and it was tipped on the way, and it falls incomplete. Leon Hall got a hand on it.
Again, great job by Paul Gunner. He brings the house. Again, shows overload to one side, brings the entire 5 guys off the right side. Excellent job coaching.
Well, and I think Tannehill misses something here. You got an inside slant. Watch the pressure. Nelson coming off the cushion that's set up here. If you realize that's coming, it's a little 2-yard pass to Parker before contact can even be made. You get the first down. Now I realize he sees the pressure coming from that left side and he wants to get it out quick to that side, but missed an opportunity picking up a first down with Parker.
Jordy Nelson, fair catch called. Lost it and got it back. Trent Green likes to talk about the horrors that happen at the bottom of a pile like that, but it appears Jordy Nelson maintained possession. Jordy almost turned a really good day for him into a really bad one. The overhanging roof splits the sunshine right down the middle of the field. Our Melanie Collins down there says feels like 20 degrees difference on a warm, sticky afternoon. This is Marshawn Lynch.
Boy, that's a great sign for the Raiders. Again, starting off with a good run for 6 or 7 yards on first down. They haven't scored in the fourth quarter the entire season. Their offense needs to go win this game right now.
You know, his balance is tremendous. The different angles that he runs at, and, you know, just when you think you're going to knock him down, it's well noted the power, the number of guys it takes to get him down. But his balance, his versatility to be able to bounce it the way he does is impressive.
You saw the numbers for the Raiders in the fourth quarter. They have been dismal offensively in the fourth quarter, and this is Lynch. To about the 28, but enough for a first down. That would be ideal for John Gruden and the Raiders. Crank out first downs while eating up the clock.
Well, they had a 16-play, 8.5-minute drive earlier in the game, and that would be an ideal thing for the Raiders right now if they could use up that amount of time with the lead and obviously get down in scoring position, get some points out of it. Good start to the drive.
Oakland by 3. Coming up on 11 minutes to play in regulation. Carr pulls it down, rolls, throws, sideline. It is incomplete. Intended for Nelson.
Looked like a total mix-up out there. Jordy Nelson didn't even run a route. It looks like Derek had a play-action pass expecting somebody to go somewhere. He just stood on the line of scrimmage. And the way he's walking back to the huddle, he knew he messed it up.
Yeah, there was something. Either Jordy just did a look route where he just took one step and you look, and take a look is on the outside. He just take one step look. He thought he was going to get Martavis on the slant. McMillan was in the way of the slant, and really no secondary throw at that point in time.
On 2nd and 10, Carr under pressure and goes down. Vincent Taylor, his first sack of the year.
Well, you knew somebody had to step up in that defensive line with all those injuries, and Vincent Taylor did a heck of a job of maybe stopping this drive right there on that play.
3rd sack of the day of Derek Carr.
Well, Taylor getting more snaps than normal. Akeem Spence kicked out of this game earlier in the first half, and Taylor taking full advantage.
3rd and 14, and the Miami crowd comes to life.
Well, you got Quinn and Wake coming off the edges now. They know this is a passing down, 3rd and long.
Carr pulls it down, now throws, and a bullet to Martavis Bryant, and that's a first down. Boy, what a throw by Derek Carr.
Yeah, if you're Matt Burke, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, you're just sick to your stomach right now because you had this play stopped. You have him in 3rd and long. You know what's going on. You've got the coverage. All you need to do is make the tackle.
Just make the tackle. It's a simple game. And Martavis Bryant, 2 big 3rd down conversions in this game. He's been a huge addition since they got him back.
Big first down for the Oakland offense.
He's one-on-one at the bottom.
This is Doug Martin. And Martin across the 45 to the 40, make it the 45-yard line, brought down by Robert Quinn.
Well, that just takes the wind out of you, too. If you're the Dolphins, you're thinking, boom, we got him on 3rd and long. We're going to get him off the field. We're going to get the ball back. Now, all of a sudden, the defense is like, man, we got to keep this thing going. And so mentally, that's a big hurdle there.
This is Marshawn Lynch once again. Tackler is just bouncing off of him. And this play has been blown dead, and Marshawn may be a little upset by that. He was still going.
they still hadn't gotten him down, but, forward progress was done. And
again, big 3rd down. They got him in a decent 3rd down, 6-7. Dolphins got to get off the field.
Officially, it is a 3rd and 7 with 8.5 to play. And again, Miami with a real shot here at making a stand, turning this thing around. Carr down the far sideline, stepped out of bounds, incomplete. Intended for Amari Cooper. Went out of bounds early on in the pattern.
A lot of contact going on between Howard and Cooper working down that left sideline.
Don't think it would have mattered, but the ball went right through his hands again on the double move.
So Danny Amendola back at his own 10-yard line.
2 drops here, Coach. 2 drops by Cooper here in the last couple series on 3rd down.
Johnny Townsend, the rookie punter for the Raiders. Almost straight up. Short kick. Amendola says, let it go. And it will roll to a stop with pretty good field position for the Miami Dolphins.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda's family of SUVs, sized to fit your life. Verizon, the best unlimited is on Verizon, America's most awarded network. And by Sonic, this is how you Sonic.
That's how Trent Green arrives at our games.
I was going to say that you didn't realize they got a video of you parasailing yesterday, did they?
Well, I know that's wrong. Well, nice look at Miami Beach as Ryan Tannehill looks for a receiver and is going to tuck it and run and get a first down and out of bounds close to midfield.
Really poor job by the Raiders on their pass rush. Totally losing contain on the backside. Somebody went up and under and had nobody out there, and Ryan's going to make you pay when that happens.
Bruce Irvin was lined up to Tannehill's left, and he comes on an inside rush, and as the line blocks him down, leaves Tannehill a spot.
Tannehill, 27 of the Dolphins, 36 rushing yards.
180!
A little double reverse action, and here comes Albert Wilson throwing it. Wide open, Jakeem Grant. Grant to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown!
Albert Wilson is so valuable. He's such a versatile player. His time in Kansas City, Andy Reid used him in a number of different ways. He's going to be lined up here. Grant is back here. He's going to be the receiver. Watch as they come back. The ball's flipped here. He sets up, throws for the touchdown. Fake underneath. Tannehill helps with the block to seal the edge. Grant out of the backfield gets up the right sideline. But Albert Wilson does so many different things. You can line him up in the slot, outside. He can run the ball from the backfield, and obviously he can throw some touchdown passes as well.
Extra point is perfect, and with 7:18 to play, the Dolphins go deep into the playbook. 52 yards for their first lead of the game. Jakeem Grant and the rest of the Miami Dolphins basking in the shade as they take a 21-17 lead. Meanwhile, for only the second time in their long history, the Raiders have blown a 10-point second-half lead in back-to-back games. They did it last week in Denver. Dwayne Harris from the 2. Right up the middle. Penalty markers fly as he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. No lack of yellow flags today.
Yeah, that was a good return, but now they're going to start bad field position again, and big difference having need 3 and need 7.
Personal foul, illegal double team block by the return team, number 85. Half the distance to the goal, first down, Oakland.
Personal foul is on Derek Carrier. So John Gruden must feel like his guys are just starting all over again.
Well, and I think if you're the Raiders, I think if I'm Derek Carr right now and I'm in the huddle, I'm saying, guys, listen, we got plenty of time on the clock. Understand we've been running the football. Let's keep running the football. Let's start attacking the middle of the field. They got away from that earlier in this game. That's where the big windows were the middle of the field. Let's get back to that. Guys, just calm down. Let's put together a drive.
Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. Carr going to throw it. Under pressure. Got away. Throwing, and it is intercepted. And now ruled incomplete. T.J. McDonald with the diving attempt at the pick.
Well, that ball hits T.J. McDonald right in the stomach, but it does hit the ground. It squirts out, and Derek Carr got lucky. Gets away from the sack. He nearly gets brought down in the sack and doesn't get his feet squared around over to the sideline to get the ball out to Bryant.
Yeah, those are the plays that have been plaguing him in the fourth quarter. He feels like he has to do everything right now. Just play the game.
Right,
play
but
the game.
It's
Get a first down.
Because of what's happened the last couple of weeks, you do feel like you have to do everything.
This is Lynch.
So it's understandable to feel that way, but keep hitting Lynch right in the middle of the pile, pushing that pile and getting to these more manageable. You got to get some chunks when you get the opportunities, but as you said, don't force it. Don't feel like you have to force it.
Trent, this is one of those situations that you always say keep doing it until they prove to you that they can stop it.
That's right. That's right. They've had some effectiveness with the play action as well because of the effectiveness of the running game. So not going to have it on here on third down. You've got to come up with something else.
This is a down they've been using Jalen Richard a lot.
But once again, the Dolphins, 10 defenders at the line of scrimmage.
Sideline, incomplete.
There it is. I was going to say, I can see it all the way up here in the booth. McTire had his arms wrapped around Jordy Nelson's waist.
Referee just couldn't get his flag out of his pocket.
Pass interference. Defense number 24. The ball
What's that? And now his arms wrapped around.
First down.
I was like, that's got to be coming in soon. We're way across the field up high. But that's costly because now the Raiders, instead of having to punt the ball away, gives them first down here at the 30, gives them a little space.
New life at the 30-yard line. Doug Martin. For one, maybe. A reminder for you, coming up, the State Farm post-game show. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, and the coach. All the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the State Farm post-game show.
Now I know Doug Martin's a good back. I just got to say, Marshawn Lynch has been pounding that ball on first down. Instead, you keep Marshawn on the sidelines, you run the ball up the middle. It's the same thing you've been running with Marshawn. It's just not as effective.
On 2nd and 9, the fake to Marshawn Lynch, and the pass over the middle is Jordy Nelson, and Nelson out to the 47-yard line, and that's another Oakland Raider first down.
Very similar play they had way back in the beginning of the game. Good hard play action to Marshawn. Jordy runs the in route on the backside. Nice chunk.
Both linebackers, McMillan and Alonzo, bite up on the run fake because you have to. You have to honor it. That's what allows that open window in the middle of the field, and Jordy for the first down.
One thing that always comes back to haunt you, Trent, dropped interceptions. That was a big play. We go back. This drive goes for a touchdown. It should have been over back there.
5 minutes to play in the fourth. Carr, straight drop, time, throws, incomplete, near sideline. Intended for Martavis Bryant.
Well, that ball just came out funny. I'm not sure if the ball was wet or sweat or whatever it may be, but that wasn't a typical Derek Carr pass when he had plenty of space in the pocket. That just came out with a wobble and high.
Yeah, it almost looked like he didn't have quite the timing with Martavis on that route, you know. He was like waited for him to come open instead of throwing him open.
2nd and 10. Play clock down. Carr's going to have to do it in a hurry. And he does. Quick pass this side, Lynch. Reverses field, 45. Bouncing off tacklers inside the 40 to the 39.
Minka, welcome to the NFL, brother. You just got beast moded.
Marshawn Lynch is like, hey, Rook, you better wrap me up. You can come in here with that. If you think you're just going to give me his shoulder. He recognizes Kiko Alonso's overplaying it to the outside and sees nobody's back to the inside, so Marshawn takes it back to the inside, and then Fitzpatrick decides, I'm just going to give him a shoulder.
Not so fast.
No, not so fast.
Derek Carr over 300 yards throwing the ball today. On first down. You give us to Martin. Martin turning the corner. Inside the 30, inside the 25.
Now that's better. That's a better play call for what Doug Martin does. You spread it out. You get more receivers out wide. You give like a play action type fake. Carr does a little jump pass kind of look. all of a sudden it's spread out. That's where he can find those creases, get it to the outside the way he does. More of those downhill runs. I'd give to that guy right there, 2-4. He's going to pound between the tackles.
Yes, indeed. That defensive line, they're so thin. They are really tired right now.
Keep in mind, a field goal doesn't really do anything for Oakland other than get them within a point. Martin again.
You can see right there the defensive line. They're just fanning right now. They're so tired.
Well, that ball's supposed to go front side. It's supposed to stay to the right, and Martin, because of his quickness, number one, but number two, the defensive line, as gassed as they are, he's able to bounce it and get back to the left side and get a nice gain.
Well, Bobby McCain lost his helmet, and they're going to take an extra close look at him. You can bet. Ducked his head, helmet came flying off. And he is still on the ground at the 20-yard line, and now he's up.
See, now you got 2nd and 4, 2nd and short, as we see McCain getting off the field on his own, even a little jog there at the end. 2nd and 4, you can use everything now. You can run the football, you can play action pass, you can move the pocket around. You've got everything at your disposal.
Yeah, and the other thing, if you go 3 wide receivers, you're going to have the 4th corner in there somewhere. You know, because McTire's playing one side, McCain is now gone, Tankersley's in there. Do you go after him right away?
And a whistle halts the play. There's a flag on the ground.
Illegal substitution, 12-men defense. That's a 5-yard penalty, which results in a first down.
Well, when you're changing personnel groups, that's the problem. When you have as many injuries right now as what the Dolphins are dealing with. They lost Spence earlier. They lost William Hayes earlier. They just lost McCain. So trying to get the right personnel groups, the right people on the field.
And if you're the Oakland Raiders, you want to score a touchdown, but you also want to use up as much time as you can and not leave the Miami Dolphins much of anything on the other side.
Yeah, Greg, my thought on that, always score the touchdown.
Yeah.
Let the defense play.
Got to get the snap in a hurry, and he does. Carr under pressure, throwing to the end zone. Did they pick it off? That's Xavier Howard, and he did.
Well, first off, give credit to Cameron Wake. I think Wake was the one that had the big hit on Derek Carr as he was releasing that ball.
You just have to question, 1st and 10, do you try a jump ball?
Yeah, it is Wake coming off the backside.
Xavier Howard's 2nd interception today.
Got the ball secure, both feet are in. Coach, to go back to your point from earlier, the happiest guy on the field is T.J. McDonald. He dropped the interception earlier in this drive. Next thing you know, Raiders are in position to take the lead. His defensive backmate, Xavier Howard, just made him feel a whole lot better about it.
There's no doubt the Raiders have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. They've got to get a 3 and out to have any chance.
Now Oakland with 2 timeouts remaining. Miami all 3 of theirs. They want time off the clock. 2:54 to play and counting. This is Frank Gore. And with a little help from the offensive line. Gore is out to about the 26. Clock continues to move. 2:35 to play here in the 4th. Miami looking to go 3-0 on the young season. And Oakland with 0-3 staring them right in the face.
Well, they have to get a play snapped here because they can't get to the 2-minute warning based on the play clock. If they get them stopped here short of the first down, they will use one of their timeouts before the 2-minute warning.
This is Albert Wilson. Albert Wilson on his way. They're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Miami.
Again, the speed of Miami to the edges. The Raiders just couldn't match it.
Albert Wilson used in a number of different ways. They're going to go underneath. It's just going to come this way, and you're coming back around. Little flip to it. Get to the outside.
Great block by Frank Gore.
And it's a track meet.
The extra point is good. 2 minutes to play in regulation, and the Miami Dolphins have grabbed this game 28-17.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, enjoyed by Giant Blue fictional knights everywhere. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Here in Miami, the Dolphin faithful celebrating what they see is a 3-0 start to this season. Albert Wilson, a 74-yard touchdown. And it appears the Dolphins have put the icing on a cake that will send the Raiders to an 0-3 start. Dwayne Harris from the 4. And Harris tripped up and falls across the 25. Able to mark him down at the 25-yard line. Greg Gumbel, Bruce Arians, Trent Green, Melanie Collins. We saw the Raiders lead at halftime for a third straight week. Derek Carr threw a costly interception on the last drive, which led to a Miami touchdown. Ryan Tannehill has thrown for 289 yards and 3. But once again, the Raiders have failed to score a point in the fourth quarter. 2 touchdowns for the Dolphins. They lead at 28-17. The Dolphins have scored 21 consecutive points. The Raiders, 2 timeouts remaining. That pass is complete across the 30 to Jalen Richard.
Well, that pretty much sums up the whole season for both of these teams. The Dolphins have been finding ways to win football games. When you look at their 3 games, against Tennessee winning by 7, against the Jets winning by 8, getting a long drive at the end of the fourth quarter to hold that victory in place. And then, of course, today, as you mentioned, Greg, 21 straight points after trailing 17-7, finding a way to get it done. And on the reverse side of that, the Raiders
finding a way not to.
Find a way not to. It's been a tough second half, and in this case, a fourth quarter for the Oakland Raiders.
To play so well for 3 quarters and then turn the ball over on 1st and 10 in the scoring zone is just tough.
Been a long time for John Gruden since he's tasted victory as a head coach. This is Jalen Richard, and again, we keep marveling at this. On the day, there are 42 rushing yards for the Miami Dolphins, and their leading rusher is quarterback Ryan Tannehill with 27. A reminder for you, the State Farm postgame show comes your way once we wind down. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cower, scores and highlights coming up on the State Farm postgame show. Owner Stephen Ross. The Miami Dolphins, who have not started season 3-0 since 2013. Second and 1. Carr. And out of the backfield, the catch is made, and inside the 45 is Jalen Richard.
You know, the thing that's been impressive by this performance of the Dolphins is, the way they've offensively, they spread the ball around. Greg, you just mentioned the fact they haven't been able to run the ball. They've spread the ball. Their top 5 wide receivers have 40 yards or more receiving, each of them.
Little screen, and this is Richard again. Richard looking for running room, dragged down, but he has a first down And timeout is called with 24 seconds to play.
I think you kick the field goal here, Trent, and try to get the onside kick and get your score that way. Try to get your points.
Well, you almost have to, don't you?
Yeah, you got, kick the field goal.
Save as much time as you can to try and get in position.
That's
Looks like
what
that's
they're
what they're going to do.
Yeah,
Try to
Mike Nugent.
get the onside kick, get the Hail Mary, and the 2-point conversion.
But Oakland staring at 0-3 right now, and their next opponent, the Cleveland Browns. And then, guys, we'll see these Raiders again out on the West Coast against the LA Chargers in 2 weeks. So this is a 52-yard attempt by Mike Nugent. This would be his longest of the young season. And a whistle and a timeout.
30-second timeout.
So Miami calls the timeout. They have 2 remaining. Oakland is out of timeouts. We talked at the very beginning of the day, Coach, about the inconsistency of the Raider defense, and you were just as quick to point out, along with Trent, that the offense has to hold up its end of the bargain.
Yeah, the Raider defense played outstanding all day, other than that one little play at the end. They gave up a reverse pass and that long touchdown pass, run pass, whatever it is. But their offense had a chance to take the lead. Now you're playing defense in a whole different mindset with the lead.
Mike Nugent from 52 yards out. And it had plenty of room. It is good. So with 20 seconds to play, Miami's lead is now 28-20.
And that's the right call. Get the 3. Go for the onside kick. You get it. You got to hit it. You got to hit the long ball.
A week ago we were in Denver, and the Raiders led until 6 seconds to play when a field goal beat them. And I happen to say, boy, what a tough ride home that's going to be for the Raiders. How about this one?
Yeah, this one's going to be a hard one because they, as you said just a little bit ago, they were up 17-7. And 21 straight points by the Dolphins before that field goal. Now it's going to come down to this onside kick. 20 seconds left. The onside kick will take, 5 to 8 seconds, depending on how much it bounces around. You're still going to need a Hail Mary and a 2-point conversion. So,
yeah, like Derek Carr said yesterday, there's no moral victories. Yeah, we played good for 3 quarters. We're getting better, but there are no moral victories in the NFL.
Here we go. Plenty of yardage needed and recovered by Albert Wilson, who has had himself a day. And a kneel down, and this one will go into the books for the Dolphins.
Kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Miami's ball, first down.
Yeah, you talk about the day Albert Wilson had. 2 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. 1-for-1 pass attempt, 52-yard touchdown. So
that's a stat line.
That's
right
a stat line. That's it.
Last time the Raiders started a season 0-3 was the 2014 season. This is not how John Gruden envisioned this one beginning.
But like you said, they're playing so well for so long in each one of these games to just give it up in the fourth quarter. That's gut-wrenching.
To be 0-3 after playing the way they have all 3 weeks, it's really shocking because they've been right there every week.
The Miami Dolphins alone in first place after week 3 for the first time since 1998. Must be a good feeling for the Dolphins and their fans as time winds down. Dolphins and their fans in celebration mode, as they should be. 28-20 over Oakland. The final score up next. The State Farm postgame show for Trent Green, Bruce Arians, Melanie Collins, and the rest of our crew here in Miami. Greg Gumbel saying so long. We'll take you back to New York for all the scores and highlights right after this.